Hello guys, welcome back to my channel English Academy. As you know guys that William Wordsworth was a romantic poet and he also was a great lover of nature. He wrote the sonnet The World Too Much With Us in 1802 and it was published in 1807. In the previous video, we knew about that this sonnet was written during the period of industrial revolutions when this revolution was on its climax. The poet was deeply pained that people in the modern world wasting their power and energy to earn more and more money. They don't have any time to appreciate the beauty of nature. So he wants to pay the attention of the modern people to take pleasure from the beauty of nature. Guys, now we explain one by one word of the poem. We come to the topic and start to explain the poem. The first line of poem is that the world is too much with us late and soon. The world is too much with us means the poet says that people in the modern world give too much importance to the worldly comforts and pleasures. They have completely neglected nature. For modern people, money is worshipped in place of God. Late and soon, guys, late and soon means every time. The poet says that all the time we run after to gain more and more money and neglected nature and its beauty. In the second line, getting and spending. Getting means earn and spending means purchasing. We lay waste our powers. Lay waste means destroy. The poet says that we are always busy in earning money and spending it on buying things of physical comforts and pleasures. In the third line, little we see in nature that in ours we have given our heart away a sordid wound. In the third lines of the poet says that we have completely neglected nature. We have no time to look at nature and appreciate its beauty. He says that nature acts as a mother, as a teacher, as a guide, and as a philosophical or human being. Unfortunately, we have been neglecting nature entirely. Our whole attention is centered on materialism. The poet says that materialism is a curse for mankind. Guys, in the fourth line, a sordid boons means curse, dirty blessings. Next lines, the this sea that bears her bosom to the moons. Her bosom means her heart. Next line, the winds that will be howling at all hours. Howling means roaring sounds. And are upgathered now like sleeping flowers. Guys, upgathered means close, like sleeping flowers. As the flowers close with the sun. Next line, for everything we are out of tune. Out of tune means guys tuneless. Next line, it moves us, not great God, I would rather be a pagan shackled in a kid outworn. Guys, who is pagan? Pagan is a person who loves nature and appreciates the beauty of nature. Shackled, guys, shackled means shackled means brought up or born in a creed outworn. Creed means customs and traditions. Outworn, guys, outworn means out of date. Next line, so might I standing on the pleasant lea. Guys, lea means meadow or pastures. Have glimpses that would make me less forlorn. Guys, forlorn means lonely. In the next line, have sight of Proteus rising from the sea. Who is Proteus? Proteus is the god of the sea. Rising from means coming out. In the next line, or hear old Triton blow his wretched horn. Triton, who is Triton? Triton is the musician in the court of the sea of God. Blow means playing upon his wretched horn. Wretched means coined or round shaped. Horn, a kind of, what is horn? A kind of musical instruments. Guys, I hope that you understand the meaning of one by one word of the lines in the poem. Guys, I am going to explain stanza by stanza of the poem. So let's start now. The world is too much with us, late and soon, getting and spending, we lay waste our powers. Little we see in nature that in ours we have given our heart away a sordid boon. This sea that bears her bosom to the moon. The winds that will be howling at all hours, and are up gathered now like sleeping flowers. For everything, we are out of tune. In the first stanza, the poet is very pained to see that the people of the modern world to earn more and more money, although they have great power of spiritual elevation and development of the soul, but they waste all their power in amassing wealth and spending it in wasteful pleasures. They don't have time to appreciate the beauty of nature. People in the modern world have also become blind to the moral and spiritual influence of the nature. The poet The poet says that the sight of the grand sea lying upon in the glare of the moonlit night doesn't attract us. The winds that would be making horrible sounds during the day one calm and quiet at night. But we have no time to appreciate the beauty of nature. We are always busy with the material pursuits of life. Guys, now we see next stanza. It moves us not great God, I would rather be a pagan shackled in a creed outworn. So might I, standing on the pleasance lay, have glimpses that would make me less forlorn, have sight of the Proteus rising from the sea, or hear all Tritons blow his wretched horn. Guys, in the second stanza, the poet feels very lonely and he wants to run away to the world of pagans who are simple and innocent people. The pagans believed in the various gods and goddesses found in nature. In their company, he would stay beside meadow and enjoy himself among different kinds of beautiful objects of nature. His loneliness his loneliness will vanish in the company of the beautiful scenes of nature. He would get an opportunity to hear the sounds of the conch shell blown by Triton. He would like to see the sea god Proteus. The poet is ready to accept paganism for the sake of his love for nature. So, guys, we can say that this sonnet is loaded with the heavy personality of William Wordsworth. It shows that he was a great lover and worshipper of nature. This sonnet is a cry of the poet's heart when he says, "It moves us not great God." Thank you, guys.